Today's lesson is on measures of center. Measures of center include mean, median, and mode. Let's start with your notes on measures of center. What is the mean of a set of data? The mean of a set of data values is the sum of the data divided by the number of data values. For example, if you follow along with your notes, you will see that you have a data set of -5, -1, 3, 6, 8, 8, and 9. To calculate mean, we find the sum of the data values over the number of data values in our set. We are going to add -5 plus -1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 and divide that number by 7. When we add those numbers together, we find the sum of 28. Divided by 7, because that's the number of values in our data set, we get 4. That tells us the mean is going to be 4 for our data set. What is the median of a set of data? For an odd number of data values, the median is the middle value when the data values are arranged in numerical order. For an even number of data values, the median is the average of the two middle items when the data values are arranged in numerical order. Here we have our data set -5, -1, 3, 6, 8, 8, and 9. Our median, or middle number, is 6. Now, if our data values include -5, -1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 8, and 9, we have two middle numbers. As you can see here, we have 6 and 7. In order to calculate the median for an even set of numbers, we're going to add our two middle numbers together, that's 6 plus 7, to give us 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So the median of this even set of values is 6.5. Remember, when you have an odd data set, it's just the middle number. An even data set means that you have two middle numbers that you must find the average. Now let's talk about mode. What is the mode of a set of data? Mode is the most common number in a data set. If we have the data set 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2, the mode is 2 because it occurs 3 times, which is more than any other number. Yes, we see that 4 does repeat itself, but it only repeats itself twice. 2 is less than 3, so mode would be 2 because it occurs the most often. Now let's look at an example. Follow along in your notes. At Yellowstone National Park, Data Girl and Misadventure watch Jewel Geyser erupt. Data Girl records the time intervals between eruptions. Find the mean and median intervals between eruptions. To calculate mean and median, we have to make sure we are using the correct numbers within our data set. Here we see that our interval begins with 5 and it ends with 10. That means that this is 6, 7, 8, and 9. We need to list our numbers in order from least to greatest. We don't have a 5, but we have one number between 5 and 6, so we will say that that's 5.5. Then we have 1, 6. We have 1, 2, number 7. We have 1, number 8. Then we have a number between 8 and 9. adding decimals, I made sure to line my decimals up. So first we calculate the sum. The sum of the data set is 62. If we count, we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in our set. So we would have 62 divided by 8 to find the mean of our data. When we divide 62 by 8, we get 7 and 75 hundredths. So the mean of our data is 7 and 75 hundredths. Remember, median is the middle number. So we see we have our numbers in order from least to greatest. Now we're going to find our middle number. Since we have an even set, there will be 2 middle numbers. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Our middle 2 numbers are 7 and 8. To calculate the median, we are going to find the mean of these 2 numbers. So we add 7 plus 8 and we divide that by 2. 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7 1/2. So the median is 7 and 5 hundredths. Now let's talk about the most. Which number repeats the most often? If we look at our data set, we see 2 numbers that repeat twice. 7 repeats twice, and 10 repeats twice. So our modes, we have 2 modes, so that would be 7 and 10, because they both occur twice within our data set. Look at letter B. Using the measure of center, what inference can you make about how often the Joule geyser erupts? Well, if I look at my data, I see the mean, or the average, is 7 and 75 hundredths. I also see that the median is 7 1/2. Based on this, the inference that I can make is that the average interval is 7 and 75 hundredths, meaning that the geyser erupts about every 7 1/2 or 7 3/4 of a minute. Let's look at the next example. During eruption, the Joule geyser, water pours up to varying heights. What is the mean height of the geyser's eruption? I see my data listed, but it is not in order from least to greatest. Though I don't need that information to calculate mean, I'm going to go ahead and place them in order from least to greatest. So we have 11, 14, 15, 19, 22, 23, 27, 28, and 30. To calculate mean, we must find the average of these numbers. So we're going to add 11 plus 14 plus 15 plus 19 plus 22 plus 23 plus 27 plus 28 plus 30. That is the sum of 189 divided by the number of terms in our set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to divide 189 by 9. That gives us an average or mean of 21. This means that the average height of of the water when it stores up during an eruption is 21 feet. Using measures of sensors. How can you use measures of sensors to compare data? You can compare two data sets by comparing their individual values. A quicker way to make a general comparison of two data sets is to compare their measures of sensors. Let's look at Class M and Class R. There are the same number of students in both classes. We also see that they have the same number of doodles that are the most common. So again, that most common represents the mode of our data. But they do have different means. Class M has a mean of 4 and 500, while Class R has a mean of 5 and 1/10. Let's look at an example together. A biology student is studying two species of endangered parrots. What is the mean weight of each sample? Make a comparative inference based on the mean value. This is asking us to calculate the mean. That's simply what we are going to do. So we're going to start with the Hyacinth-Macaw sample. So we have 2 8/10 plus 3 7/10 plus 3 9/10 plus 3 plus 3 1/10 plus 3 4/10 plus 2 9/10 plus 3 2/10 that gives us a total of 26. If we count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms in our data set. So we're going to divide 26 by 8 to get 3 in 2,500. That tells us that the average weight of a Hyacinth-Macaw is 3 in 2,500 pounds. Now let's look at the cockatoo sample. We have 3 and 9/10 plus 4 and 5/10 plus 5 and 3/10 plus 6 and 7/10 plus 7 and 4/10 plus 8 and 1/10 plus 6 and 4/10 plus 8 and 1/10. That is a total of 50 and 400 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. When we divide, we get 6 and 3/10 pounds. So looking at this, we can go ahead and infer that the cockatoo weighs more than the hyacinth. Let's look at another one. A book publisher is testing two versions of an e-book. A random sample of people is given 30 minutes to read each version. What is the mean of each sample? Make a comparative inference based on the mean value. Pause the video and calculate the mean for version A and version B. Alright, looking at version A, when we find the sum of the data values, we get a total of 293 divided by 12, which is about 24 and 4/10 pages for version A. Version B, we have a sum of 284 divided by 12, which is about 23 and 7/10 pages. So to make a comparative inference, I would say that version B takes less time to read than version A. If you have different comparative inferences based on each measure of center, you can draw a conclusion about the situation by looking more closely at the data set. As you can see in this data set here, there's no stray data value, so we can use the mean. Okay? So anytime all of our data lies within a few numbers of one another,